Good day! Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Friday, December 10, 2021. The Supreme Court has declared two provisions of the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020 or Republic Act 11479 unconstitutional, but ruled that the other provisions that were challenged by several petitions were constitutionally sound. Voting 12-3, the court ruled as unconstitutional for being overbroad and violative of freedom of expression, the qualifier to the proviso in Section 4 of RA 11479, which are not intended to cause death or serious physical harm to a person, to endanger a person's life, or to create a serious risk to public safety. It also declared unconstitutional by a vote of 9-6 the portion in Section 25, Paragraph 2 that states, requests for designation by other jurisdictions or supranational jurisdictions may be adopted by the Anti-Terrorism Council after determination that the proposed designee meets the criteria for designation of the United Nations Security Council number 1373. All the other provisions of the law are not constitutional, the court ruled. Vice presidential aspirant Sara Duterte Carpio got the support of 9 of 17 mayors in the National Capital Region. Duterte Carpio had lunch with the mayors on Wednesday after her caravan in Quezon City, her regional party Hugpong ng Pagbabago said in a statement. The 43-year-old Davao City mayor shared a photo of her meeting with the local executives in her Facebook page. In attendance were mayors Edwin Olivares of Parañaque, Oscar Malapitan of Caloocan, Francisco Javier Zamora of San Juan, Tobias Chanco of Navotas, Marcelino Chodoro of Marikina City, Rexlon Gatchalian of Valenzuela City, Imelda Calixto Rubiano of Pasay City, Carmelita Abalos of Mandaluyong City, and Marlen Abigail Binoy of Makati City. The meeting was also attended by Las Piñas Vice Mayor April Aguilar, Pasig City Vice Mayor Christian Caruncho Bernardo, and former Mandaluyong Mayor and Metropolitan Manila Development Authority Chairman Benher Abalos. Duterte Carpio, the eldest daughter of President Rodrigo Duterte, is running with former Senator and presidential aspirant Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. The president has stressed that he does not support Marcos, whom he called a spoiled and weak leader. The 76-year-old Duterte, who's running for senator, is backing the presidential bid of his longtime aide-turned-senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo. Marcos and Duterte Carpio confirmed their decision to run as a tandem for next year's elections on November 16. Presidential aspirant Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and running mate Sara Duterte Carpio endorsed the bids of former Public Works Secretary Mark Villar, former Palace spokesman Harry Roque Jr., and former Senator Jose Jinggoy Estrada. Marcos, the standard-bearer of the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, introduced Villar, Roque from the People's Reform Party, and Estrada from the Puwersa ng Masang Pilipino as the unit team's senatorial bets in his speech in a rally in Bacoor, Cavite. Villar filed the certificate of candidacy under the Nacionalista Party. Duterte Carpio also named Villar, Roque, and Estrada as her senatorial bets. The PFP, Lakas Christian Muslim Democrats, the Hugpong ng Pagbabago, and the PMP have formed the Uniteam Alliance to support the election bids of Marcos and Duterte Carpio. The four parties entered into an alliance agreement on November 25. Patients with heart and respiratory diseases, cancer, and surgical operations are replacing COVID-19 admissions in 2 Metro Manila hospitals. Dr. Jonas Del Rosario, Philippine General Hospital spokesman, said on Thursday there are now more patients with other chronic diseases as well as those whose surgery was delayed due to the surge caused by the Delta variant. Del Rosario believes these patients are taking advantage of the low number of COVID-19 patients to have medical checkups and follow-up on conditions that they had been experiencing during the surge. Labor Secretary Silvestre Rebello III is confident that the country's labor market is on its way to recovery as the economy starts to gain momentum. In his keynote message at a World Bank-organized forum, Bello said the situation remains volatile, but there are signs of recovery. The September labor force survey showed that the employment rate is at 91.1%, unemployment at 8.9%, and underemployment at 14.2%. Over to business. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas forecasts the Philippine economy to grow by 7% in the fourth quarter, which will support the full-year expansion to surpass the government's target. In a briefing on Thursday, Central Bank Governor Benjamin Diokno said the revised forecast for this year is 4 to 5%. In sports, Philippine Askel's acting coach Stuart Hall regretted the 3-minute stretch that led to the national football team's 1-2 loss to home squad Singapore in the 2020 AFF Suzuki Cup at the National Stadium on Wednesday night. Hall was talking about the period from the 62nd to 64th minute where the Singaporeans scored 2 quick goals after the Azkals held them scoreless for the first 61 minutes of the match. Haris Haroon scored on the header at the 62nd and Faris Ramlee converted off a cross at the 64th to give Singapore a 2-0 lead. Rigoberto Tiglao and Ruben Torres are today's front page columnists. Tiglao believes the elections next year are going to be boring, while Torres reflects on the legacy of the late former Senator Blas Ople. Today's editorial discusses the recent decision of 4 countries calling for a diplomatic boycott of next year's Winter Olympics in Beijing, China. Read the full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and keep up with the Times. On behalf of the Manila Times, this is Arik John Seco reporting. Have a safe Friday ahead.